So my project was on mapping fire scars and using multispectral satellite imagery and machine learning, but it's more so on GIS. GIS is Geographical Information Systems. Here, I don't like this website. That's why I sort of chose it because it literally has everything. So how would I like rewrite everything? I think it's really interesting. I actually before I started doing this, I've never heard of this. It's actually my mentor's idea because when I was filling out the application for Talaria, I was like, so I'm interested in like environmental science, and I do have some background with like computer science and stuff, and I'm interested in that. So I feel like in a way that's a combination of both. So what is GIS? It's a spatial system that creates, manages, analyzes, and maps all types of data. It has many uses, like identifying problems, monitoring change, managing and responding to events, performing forecasting, setting priorities for like, in response to environmental changes. So that's sort of how it ties into environmental science. And understanding trends, so you can like actually predict, like for example, mine was on the Cape Town fire. Um, the 2021 Cape Town fire. So basically what happened, there's actually not a concrete explanation as to how it occurred. It's not a natural event. At least I don't think it is, because there was some evidence of it being man-made. Nobody was arrested though. I think a few people were detained, but nobody arrested. But it did spread quite a bit, and that's sort of what I was researching about by using GIS. And GIS is one of the systems for, sorry, this is such a mess, for QGIS, quantum geographical information systems. It's an app. It's actually free. So that's the, what's so great about JS is that it's very easily accessible and it can be done fairly quick. The hardest part of my experiment wasn't really like, doing it, it's just doing it right, sort of. I don't know, like it takes maybe like a few hours at most, because all you need is just the data, the satellite image, and then you can just create like by using a few like different things like NDVI that's already embedded into the QGIS app. And NDVI just checks the state of the satellite, sorry, of the vegetation on the satellite. So I just used a satellite image and I just selected an area of which I want to like analyze the data of. And unfortunately, I did it on another computer whose camera doesn't work, so I couldn't really transfer the data either for some reason. So we're just gonna work with this. It's a little bit of a mess, but so and the NDVI is natural. Hold up, what is it? I have my notes. I'm so sorry. So NDVI is give me a sec. I just know what it is. I just don't know what it exactly stands for. It's a vegetation index. For some reason, I didn't write what the ND stands for, but it basically just checks the state of the vegetation. Here's another way to check it, but with NBR. And as you can see, like they use a similar equation, but like a little different. They use the first one uses red lights, and the second one let me see. I'm telling you, I'm so bad with these abbreviations. It uses near infrared lights instead of red light, and they both use near infrared, but the first one uses shortwave near infrared, and that's why you can see the maps are really different. Because first of all, they were using different. This is like a case study too, like but on the Central Kenya fire. And they used MODIS while I used QGIS. The only thing is, like, as you can see, like, compared to mine has, like, a lot more detail. And that's also, like, why it sort of matters which application you use for GIS, because they do give different results. But they can be used for anything. Like, even though, like, our maps look so different, it just depends on, like, what's the purpose. Because mine was just switching in vegetation, but they were like more so on vegetation types. More specifically, that's why there's so many more colors rather than mine. The first one, that's the one that's on top, the NDVI image of PlanetScope satellite image. That doesn't really, that's pre-NDVI. Sorry, yeah, that's pre-NDVI. So it's actually classified image of the fire. I messed up the labels. Classified image of the fire, and it's color coded, but like as you can see, it's a little confusing, even though it does have specific colors for each type of, surface. It is a little confusing, because, red, like why is it red? Like why is the vegetation red? There's just so many colors, and it's not as accurate. For example, as you can see, like the blue is supposed to be water, and that's not water. It's actually like shades, and that's one of the things why NDVI is really useful in this, because it's much more accurate than like classified image. That's why NDVI is just like literally a lifesaver for me, because like I was like, that doesn't look right. I was like emailing my mentor, and I'm like, it's not working out. It's like literally, I did this literally for this image. I spent like at least like an hour every day, like just redoing it, because like every single time I would try to get it like perfectly correct, but it's really hard because there's a lot of error that can happen. Like, for example, the purple is supposed to be urban area, like you see over here, it's like buildings and stuff. It thought that, burnt areas were like urban areas. So it was just a lot. So that's why I decided to do NDVI as well. And it did give me a more correct image. And let me show you if I can exit this. My thing is not working. I'm so sorry about this. No, it's not gonna work. Oh my god. Sorry. Okay, I think I need to go back to this, because this is such a like old Chromebook. Okay, so give me a second. I need to move this because I also have here. So this is what I was for commercial use now, but the link that my mentor sent me, it actually works just fine. I don't have to pay for anything. But this is basically shows like most accurate data, because Earth Engine apps. This is the vegetation before, and this was the fire, and that was the vegetation after. And it's really similar to what I thought. So I was so So I was so proud of myself that it worked out. But yeah, as you can see, and he told me they're still recovering. It's been like over a year, and there's still a lot of like places. There's still like, not growing, and it also affected like urban areas. For example, the Cape Town University was like burnt to a crisp. The library had so many like historical books and stuff that are just not gonna be like ever brought back because they were just burnt. So, but to be honest, like some people claim like, oh, like it's natural, like of course like fires are gonna happen, but like, dude, I mean, like to that extent, obviously it has to do something with the climate, with the rapidly changing climate. In fact, it just spread so fast. Like all of this happened in a matter of 2 days. So that was really interesting to learn about too. Like, so yeah, as you can see, like damage was pretty bad. Like the yellow is, so the -1 is just like where there's like less red reflected, because like vegetation absorbs the red color, and where it's not, it's well red. So I mean, it's not negative, or in negative numbers it's closer to 0, because negative it would be like clouds or something. So yeah, this one was just like another project that somebody else did, and I thought it was so cool. I don't know, I just find it so pretty. I like the white in the middle nibble zone. I don't know, I thought it's a really interesting thing. I did like a few things on my own, and I don't know, I feel like even though it might not be something that I would do myself, it's definitely something that I definitely see the appeal of. Like this is definitely so helpful, like for my field too, like environmental science. Like this definitely has a lot of uses, GIS, and it's a really fun app. I wish I could show it to you guys, but I'm telling you, this Chromebook is sold. I wish I could show it. Just search up QGIS. It's like you can download it on Windows, and it's free to use. It is a little complicated, so you gotta watch like a few tutorials, but it's definitely interesting to play around. Yeah. But regarding my whole experience with Talaria, I loved it actually. At first it was really hard for the first like week or so. I heard from a mentor and I'm like, we can meet up on Saturday at 5 p.m. And he didn't reply. I'm like, why not reply? And then I realized he lives in Africa. Dude, we have like a 7 hour difference, so it was like 3 a.m. for him. I'm like, oh, I see. So yeah, we ended up like meeting up pretty early in the morning because I also had like a job and stuff. Um, so after we figured out the schedule, it was really fun. His name is Kevin Musungu. He's like one of the professors at the Cape Town University. That's why I was doing the Cape Town fires. He knows a lot about it. It was really interesting. This image actually, like the background image, he took it. So yeah, I loved working with him. He actually like just sent me an email like, I hope your presentation goes well, and I'm like, oh, thank you, like literally 5 minutes ago. So yeah, I really enjoyed this experience, and I wish I could do it again next year, but I don't think so because I'm a senior now, so college ep season coming up, plus going to college next year, so that's very exciting. But this was definitely an experience that was worth it, definitely. So I'm glad I got to work with such an amazing professor like Mr. Musungu, and yeah, I hope more people join this. I don't know what to say, but yeah.